everyone, and welcome to this webinar on Circle of Love wedding franchises. Now, my aim for this presentation is to leave you touched, moved, and inspired about the wedding industry. This presentation will cover the wedding industry in Australia and the current trends that are happening, how you can escape the 9-to-5 rat race and work your own hours, how you can become your own boss and work from home, and positively change your lifestyle, how you can be involved in the wedding industry with very little investment, and a wedding franchise. Is it for you? Now, who wants to work in a dream job and earn money at the same time? Well, in this presentation, I'm going to teach you how you can profit from your passion. Now, just a little bit about me. I'm the director of Circle of Love and also all about venues, two wedding industry companies who are doing extremely well. I'm a successful entrepreneur and been in the industry for quite some time. Now, I started this business completely from scratch and achieved some amazing success. In 3 very short years, I've gone from standing start to a turnover of just under $500,000. Now, I'd like to invite you to have a little bit of that piece of the pie and actually come on board as a franchisee in our company. Now, just a couple of weeks ago, our company was nominated in 3 bridal industry award categories: Best Wedding Decorator, Best Function Coordinator, and Best Independent Wedding Consultant. So we've achieved some amazing success and gotten some great editorial in some great wedding publications and newspapers. Now, planning weddings gives you some amazing lifestyle opportunities. Not only do you get to work with some amazing, beautiful and inspiring setups, but you can also planning your weddings for a living and in your own business gives you an opportunity to have several other tax benefits as well. So pretty amazing lifestyle, but being a wedding planner, not only do you get an amazing lifestyle where you can actually sit down and have cups of coffee with some beautiful clients for a living and plan some amazing events, but you also get the rewards of financial security. Now, on the left-hand side is a really old photo of me taken 3 years ago. This is my very first check I received as a wedding planner. I think it was for around $3,000. And I just remember feeling so over the moon. Weddings was a passion of mine ever since I got married about 10 years ago. And I used to help friends and family all the time, and I would have quite happily have planned anybody's wedding for free. So this moment in time when I got my very first check, it was like to get paid for what I love to do was an overwhelmingly great experience. So now, what is the wedding industry? What's happening at the moment? Now, it's a booming industry at the moment. Last year alone, there was over 100,000 registered marriages in Australia. This is like a 5-year upward trend, and a huge growing factor of keeping the industry alive and well is actually the amount of second marriages happening. Now, a lot of people say, oh, but why would you get involved in the wedding industry? Everyone's getting divorced. Well, I guess the backside of that is that we are then having the second marriages. So this is why the amount of marriages are so high. It's also a $4 billion industry in Australia alone. The average wedding cost in Australia is around $34,000. So don't just take my word for it. Here's a snapshot from IBISWorld that does industry statistics. You can see there, 2010 industry revenue, just under $4 million. 8 billion, sorry, in hundreds of thousands. Also, the Queensland government, here's a snapshot of the amount of marriages, 2010 to 2003. You can see in the last 7 years, there's been an increase of weddings. Now, in New South Wales and also Victoria, they've got about double the amount of marriages in Queensland. So a huge, big growing industry. Here's a snapshot of, there's been a lot of press on the industry as well. According to a national bridal survey, they're saying the Australian wedding costs around $48,000. You do tend to find that those statistics fluctuate depending on who you're asking. Also, here's a little bit of a press release. This is us. We got featured in the Sunday Mail a couple of weeks ago and interviewed about all the brides and the increase of weddings that we were having. Now, I want to introduce you Jessica, one of our very first franchisees in the business. Now, she was a uni student and she came on board with no wedding planning experience whatsoever, but an extreme passion for the industry. Now, Jessica earned $4,000 in just one weekend last year, so pretty amazing for a 24-year-old. And the great thing about Jessica is that she only runs this business part-time. So she also works in a coffee shop for a little bit of extra revenue to pay her rent, and I think she saves the money of her business for, I think they're planning to buy a house. Now I'll introduce you to Glenda, one of our newest franchisees. Now Glenda came on board with us in December last year, and in her very first week she made $5,000. Now Glenda had been working in the admin industry for quite some time, had no wedding experience before, but just a passion for helping people out. So now the thing I want to point out now, $4,000, $5,000 a weekend, that is some amazing money. That's more money than some people make in a month. Now what I want to point out is that this isn't typical results for anyone in the industry. Both Jessica and Glenda have achieved some amazing success because they have some. Now I want to ask you, what's stopping you from starting now? Now, according to the statistics of Australian Bureau of Statistics, 50% of businesses fail in the first year and 95% fail within 5 years. Pretty astounding stats there. Now, here's some more stats. Only 5% of franchises fail in the first 5 years. Now, why do you think this is? There's a combination of things. Now, this is why a franchise works so well. It's a proven system that works. There's people who have been there, done that, and they've proven that they can succeed in a competitive industry. It's an already established business, so you don't have to build it from scratch. It takes a long time to build up a rapport and great branding and loyalty within the industry. You've got the brand name, you can capitalize on a growing company, all the marketing systems. You also have the support structure around you. So any hiccups or struggling times in your business, you've got someone around you who's in the industry who can give you valuable advice. Now, a lot of people, when they start their own business and then they come up against a business issue, they ask the closest people around them. They ask, do you know who they are? Usually it's their husband or family member or friend. Now, quite often, no offense to these people, but they are not working within the industry. So their advice is going to be on their own personal circumstances or experience. Now, what you have as a massive advantage in a franchise structure is that any business problem that you have or come across, you have someone who is already in the industry who has dealt with that problem before to give you the expert and qualified response of what actions you need to take to rectify the problem extremely quickly and fast so you can go on and profit. You also get all the training and supplies. So you get training in how to run a successful business. So even if you haven't run your own business before, you get absolutely every single bit of training on how to do it. You also get all the supplies, all the best supplies at wholesale pricing.